82%, according to Gallup in the latest poll, disapprove of what Congress does. And these members of Congress are just like, we'll keep doing what we're doing. Apparently that's working. It's working for them, but it's not for us, so. Amazing work, man.
Thank you.
I guess the question is, what next? I don't want to, also, we've got a bunch of other amazing individuals on the stage as well. And I also want to mention, we had James O'Keefe on the Culture War podcast this morning. That's right. And James was served a cease and desist within an hour of the show wrapping.
It's not a joke. I get sued a lot.
So what next? How's it going, guys?
Yeah, who's going to be the next speaker?
What are we up against? What do we do?
First, let me just say the last time I was in a room with hundreds of people, they did not like me as much. So, it is good to be home in the great state of Florida. So I wish we didn't have to come to this. I wish we would have a budget, but there is a reason the actions in Washington, D.C. are hollowing out the soul of this country, because there's been an exquisite system designed where no one is really responsible for the spending or the efficacy or even the value that government action has in all of your lives. Because since the mid-90s, we have been governed by either an omnibus spending bill or continuing resolution, which is just a fancy way to say one up or down vote on how the entire government runs. And they design it so that they back people up against shutdown politics and the fear that veterans might not get benefits or the military might not get paid. And then they use that centralized power to really feed an ecosystem and an economy of corruption. And here's how it works. If you can get the smallest group of people to be able to dictate the largest number of outcomes, then the special interests can go and buy those people off and put their priorities above what would be best for the American people. And it happens time and time again, and it is the reason we sit atop a $33 trillion debt. And what does that mean for families? Right now, the average American family is spending $700 more every month for the exact same goods and services that you got last year. And in 99% of American counties, the average income will not support home ownership. So this debt that government has built, supporting non-efficacious programs that don't even get reviewed, they just get reauthorized and increased and sent on down the road, what that's costing us is an ownership society, where we own our land and our homes and the choices that we make about our own health care and the choices we make about where our kids go to school. They want to take ownership away and make everyone more and more reliant on a system that is less and less valuable. And so while there's much work to do, and I'm sure we'll talk about that this evening, I know this. I disrupted at least $1 billion corrupt economy of political favors. And here's how. Kevin McCarthy has raised like $1 billion in special interest money. It is a remarkable feat. But the only way you really get to pay back the favors is through these bills that are thousands of pages and cover all these areas where there's no individual scrutiny. Because if you're the right lobbyist that's given the millions of dollars, the hundreds of thousands of dollars, well, then maybe you can count on the fact that your program will be saved, that there won't be anything that'll really get in the way of its continued life indefinitely. And now, on K Street, where all the lobbyists have their offices in Washington, D.C., people are holding $1 billion worth of IOUs that are worth about as much as Confederate money when Lee surrendered the sword at Appomattox Courthouse.